What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Uncle Project podcast. It's your host, Mr. T, and this is where I, as a content creator, document my journey along different projects that I'm working on, all the successes, the failures, and everything in between. On today's episode of the Uncle Project podcast, we're going to be talking about boxing. We're going to recap this past weekend's fight with Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Michael McKinson. We're going to talk about some of the Twitter drama going on, us still not having a contract signed for the Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, and just some of the other fights that I'd like to see, since we're not getting some of those Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, or like a Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia fights. We're going to be talking about some other fights that I'd like to see. But yeah, going to be a good episode. This episode is sponsored by or powered by the Lightning Network and the Sports Talk Social Tribe. I'll have a link in the show notes where you can check out Sports Talk Social. But yeah, let's get a quick message from our sponsor, Anchor, and get into it. All right, so we had some boxing this weekend. Vergil Ortiz Jr. versus Michael McKinson. Vergil Ortiz was out there looking like dang Superman or something, man. But yeah, Vergil Ortiz looking good. Coming in, perfect knockout record. I think he was like 19-0. And they just got him in there with a really good boxer dude, I guess. I've never seen Michael McKinson fight, but the dude was like 22-0 with like 2 knockouts or something like that. So you know what I mean? He's like Mr. Boxer extraordinaire. But yeah, Vergil Ortiz, he got in there, got comfortable really quick, like by the second round, he pretty much just decided, like, man, I'm gonna make you fight me, and you either gonna get knocked out or you gonna get knocked out. Like, man, he was all over dude, just throwing bombs. Really good work to the body. He had some really good defense too. His Vergil Ortiz in that guard, he's not letting a lot of big shots touch him or anything. He looked really good defensively as well. But yeah, just too big, too strong, too powerful for Michael McKinson. Ended up dropping him with a body shot. What was that? I think that was maybe the 9th round or so, maybe like the 8th or 9th round. But yeah, ended up dropping him with a really strong body shot. So yeah, good night of boxing with Vergil Ortiz. Young dude, still perfect record, 20-0, 20 knockouts. He's got some good fights out there for him. But yeah, so had that, and had Terrence Crawford in the crowd, which was cool to see. They showed how they interview guys during the fight. Terrence Crawford was like, man, I think Vergil Ortiz is like doing too much right now. He's going too hard. He needs to slow down, use the jab. Vergil Ortiz was like, hex and all. He went right back to work, throwing them bombs. I like Vergil Ortiz. But yeah, Terrence Crawford was in the crowd. And Twitter's been buzzing about Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence for the longest now. Twitter just seems to love to hype up fights that are never going to happen. Like Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence has been like closer than ever for like months. And it's kind of getting to a point where it's annoying. Like Charlo and everybody else can get contracts signed, but like here we have a fight that everybody in the world wants to see. Everybody knows that this is the moment for them to sign the contract. They know it. Their promoters know it, but just somehow, we can't get the contract signed. Man, it's kind of disappointing as a fan that contracts haven't been signed and we don't have a date for that fight yet. But you never know. They may surprise us this week, but I don't know. I'm kind of I'm kind of losing faith that we'll get that before the end of the year, like everybody was saying. Everybody, I think Errol Spence was saying by the end of the year. I think I heard Terrence Crawford say by the end of the year at one point, but it's pretty obvious that we're in August and contracts haven't been signed. I don't think we're gonna get that fight by the end of the year. But yeah, Twitter, also started teasing the Gervonta versus Ryan Garcia fight. Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, which is an amazing fight. Like, everybody wants to see it, Floyd and Oscar had their little back and forth input into it, and I don't know. I would hate to say that, like, the promoters, especially in this situation, are what's preventing this fight, because like it's Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya, like they're fighters, like I guess they do have a business approach to the fighting game right now, but man, they have to. I would hope that they would like value and consider the what the fighters want. It seems like these guys want to fight each other. Let them fight. Like, man, like, don't get in the way of that. You know what I mean? Like, and like Floyd and Leonard, they'll be like, man, like there's nothing I can say to like Leonard Ellaby about any type of business decision that could ever be made. Like he's taking like Mayweather Promotions and like the money team to like just out of this world, but like, man, I understand, like, he's not in the business of losing money on fights, but like, come on, let's get one for the fans, yo. Like, man. But yeah, so it looks like that all kind of fell apart, and then Oscar De La Hoya started pushing like Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez, which again wouldn't be a bad fight, but I don't know if like how are they going to make that fight happen? Like, is Ryan Garcia moving up, or like what's the deal? Like I'd love to see Teofimo come back down and make some more fights happen at lightweight. But yeah, like he's at 140 right now doing this thing. I think he's got a fight coming up next week, which is going to be nice to see Teofimo Lopez back in there doing this thing. But yeah, these promoters, man, they just getting in the way of big fights. But man, since they can't make any fights, I'ma just give my I'ma make the matches. I'ma make the card. So here's gonna be my wish list. This is Mr. T's wish list of fights that I really want to see. Like, come on, let's make these fights happen. Since we're never gonna get Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, and we're never gonna get Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Tate Davis. Hopefully we can get some of these fights to hold their place. So first one I have here, which I really don't think this one happened now that I think about it. I think they might be friends or something like that, but Ryan Garcia and my guy, Rolly Romero. I think that would be a super exciting fight. Ryan Garcia with the super quick hands. He's got some good power versus Rolly Romero. Does Ryan Garcia have enough head movement to get out of the way of Rolly trying to take his head off? Rolly's a puncher. And I like Rolly. And shout out to Rolly. Like, I really hope Rolly never changes. Like, keep talking shit and keep fighting how you fight too. Like, I like Rolly. Like, even with his loss and everything, like Rolly's good for boxing. If nothing else, like, he's just super entertaining. But so yeah, Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero. I'd want to see Vergil Ortiz go against Jerron Boots Ennis. Vergil Ortiz looked really good. Boots, really skilled fighter. His last fight didn't last long enough for me to really see, too much improvement in his skill from the fight before, but like, he's just a really good overall skilled athletic fighter, and I think Vergil Ortiz and Boots, that would be a super fight, like right now. I doubt that it'll happen right now, but that's a pretty sick fight. Let's see. Next, I have Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia. Have them run it back. Keith Thurman just looked really good against the young guy Mario Barrios. Again, said it on the last show. Keith Thurman, I thought he looked really good against Mario Barrios. And then Danny Garcia looked really good against Jose Benavidez. So just two good veteran fighters, running it back, and really getting that second win in their careers taking off. I think that would be a really good fight, at least from the standpoint of a fan. But yeah, so that's a good fight. And I'd want to see Teofimo Lopez come back down to the lightweight division and fight Devin Haney, the jab master. Devin Haney, the undisputed champion of the lightweight division, coming off his win against George Kambosos, the guy that Teofimo lost to. But Teofimo, he was going through, health issues during that fight. At least that's what I'm hearing. I like Teofimo. Like, I want to see him like keep making big fights and doing well in boxing. He's a really exciting fighter. Like, super exciting. But yeah, Teofimo.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, Siri trying to get into the boxing conversation. But yeah, Teofimo, exciting fighter. I'd love to see him and Devin Haney get down at the lightweight division. And then last one that I have on the list, Gervonta Davis versus your boy Lomachenko. Like, I think that's the fight, since we're not going to get Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia or Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., Lomachenko and Gervonta Davis. That's a really good chess match right there. But yeah, since we're never gonna get those fights, those are the fights that I'd like to see. If you all have any matchups that you'd like to see in boxing, be sure to leave a comment for me. I'll post the show on Twitter. Leave a comment in the Twitter comments. But yeah, so that's going to be all for this episode. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. Going to have links in the description where you can get signed up for Hive, either through Ecency or Peak D. Just really appreciate the support for the show so far. Show's actually growing a little quicker than I'd expect, just getting started off. But yeah, really enjoy doing the show so far. Just appreciate the support. So catch you all on the next episode. Peace.